What's up? I'm B and welcome to my channel. So today we are going to follow up from yesterday's video. I intended to react to all of Anna Campbell's latest video, her legal update in that video, but we just got to chatting before I knew it. 50 minutes had gone by and I had to cut the stream in order to go get the kids from daycare. So I wanted to follow up and do the remainder of the video so that way we can see it in the full context. We can keep talking about it. Everybody can share their thoughts. So, oh, hi Marita, said I made it. I'm happy you are here. As always, we'll give people just a few minutes to get in. We did win for the weeks yesterday, so if you want to share that and you weren't in the stream yesterday, feel free, or if you want to share something that's coming up that you are looking forward to, feel free to do that. Is this... Okay. I get so concerned about making sure I'm saying people's names right. Is that Madeline or Madeline Swan? Also, hi. But let me know how to say it correctly. Trustmaker 101, welcome back. Hi, Isabella. Oh, you said just finished the first half. Perfect timing. That is such perfect timing. Hi, Vaishnavi said, hi, I caught it live. Yay, I'm happy. I'm so happy that people are being able to make it. Madeline. Oh, okay. I'm going to try to remember that. But yeah, I'm so happy that so many people are able to make it. This is not my typical day, not my typical time at all. So welcome. I'm glad you are here. I will give a kind of a forewarning. Beans is sleeping in the room right behind me, so the volume on Anna's video is going to be a little bit lower. She seemed very tired before she went down for her nap, so I'm hoping she's sleeping deeply, but just in case, it's going to be a little bit lower, and if she wakes up, if you hear crying, that would be her. Rick is here, so he'll be able to take care of her if that happens, but nah. Elizabeth said, semi-new sub here. Fun fact, my maiden name is Haney. Ooh. Oh, you said no, like Lane. Sorry. Oh, no worries. Jennifer said I made it to a live. Yay. Well, hi, everybody. So let's go ahead and just get dug right into this. If you have not seen the first half of the reaction, it is available. You can feel free to watch this one first. And then when we're done on the live, go back and watch that, or you can go and this will stay up. My lives always stay up, so up to you. But let's go ahead and just get started. We're gonna pick back up right where we left off.
And that's when you make the first.
And do let me know. I did turn it down a little bit, but if that is just way too low for you guys, let me know, because I was putting it on the safe side, but I can turn it up a smidge if we need to.
Accusations that I raped you, and then I ended up back in the hospital on the 25th. Not to mention, just 1 month prior, you literally tweeted and said that I wasn't a predator and that people should put their energy into canceling rape.
So Taylor said, if you want to cancel someone, let's cancel actual rapists and predators. Should I start? I have a few, and I dated Anna for 2 years, and she is not one. Taylor did address this in her long video about Anna, saying she wanted to believe her, and so she initially defended her until she did some more thought and reflection, and she doesn't stand by that statement.
Real predators, because you dated me for 2 years and I'm not one. But 3 weeks later, while I'm getting canceled again, and you're mad at me because me and Kaylee started talking again, all of a sudden I raped you? Okay. Anyway, oh, and just to remind you guys of all the times that she said I fucked her unconscious body, but this clip was literally 5 minutes before we had sex, and she's singing to the Jonas Brothers, very conscious, very aware. Very coherent.
I've seen on Twitter people saying that that's conveniently cut, and that if you have access to that full video, you see Taylor stumble pretty hard, like pretty quickly after this small snippet of it. Additionally, I don't understand how that proves that she's coherent. I mean, if you're blackout drunk, you can be up and bouncing around 1 minute and then you turn your back. Like, somebody turns their back and when they look back at you, you're passed out. Like, that happens. So just because she was awake in that clip doesn't mean she was coherent or able to consent or not blackout drunk. Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna get hung up on your name every time. I'm so sorry. Madeline? Madeline. I'm so sorry. But you said that's the thing. It's so confusing. There's always something you say that doesn't line up until after it happened to you. And then Nessa said, I thought this was supposed to be a legal update. Seems like she's just attacking the victims and not really updating on anything. This is doing nothing to help her case. Right. She does read the cease and desist, but it's like at the very end. This is all just throwing out additional accusations and being like, oh, well, if you're a survivor for this, why am I not a survivor for that? And Madeline. Is that right? Because it's going to stress me out. Madeline. Anna said, IDK how that clip proves her point, as she could have been up and dancing at one point and unconscious the next. Exactly. Okay, Madeline said, ha ha ha, yes. Perfect. Finally. Hi, Kira.
Likes to say that she wasn't coherent. She was very coherent. Oh, and here's another lie you said.
I was still drunk up until the afternoon the next day. Actually drunk to the point I was puking hours after waking up.
Like I showed you guys before, this is her the next morning, literally singing to sex music because she woke up saying that she just had the best sex that she ever had. In the fact that one of the...
I don't quite understand how that's proof. I mean...
The next morning, literally singing to sex music because she woke up saying that she just had the best sex that she ever had.
Like, there's no date on this. It could very well be the next morning. I don't know, but this isn't conclusive for me. And again, Taylor spoke about how when it first happened, when she first woke up naked next to Anna, she didn't really think much of it. She kind of like laughed. Anna said, oh, I had to do everything to you because you were so passed out. And they just kind of moved on because she was embarrassed. But then as she started thinking and processing it, she realized how traumatic the experience actually was, which again is a totally like normal way of processing a trauma like that. Just because, again, like I said in the stream yesterday, just because she didn't wake up screaming and call the police doesn't mean that it wasn't assault or that it wasn't rape. Nessa said, I've seen drunk people dancing before. It proves nothing. Anna said, singing equals not drunk. How does that make sense? Her lack of proof is so frustrating because she's so smug about it. Yeah, this is something that so bugs me, is how smug Anna is about all of this, because obviously Taylor, Natalia, and Kaylee have been through a lot, and to them, their experiences are very serious, and objectively, I think that they're very serious. I believe the accusations that they're making, and so it's like, this is not a joke. This isn't something funny or that is being turned into a witch hunt or a hate campaign that you're just like, ugh, I'm so annoyed I have to deal with this. Let me prove to you that they're liars. Like, this is a really serious thing, and Anna has admitted to half of the stuff that they've accused her of, and Anna's switched up her stories. You know, there was one video where she talks about how she took DMT, and it was just this horrible like experience. She hated it. She never wanted to do it again, but Natalia convinced her to. And then you can literally find other clips of her talking about DMT and like the sensation that she experienced on it, and how, oh, she just loves that feeling. It's like melting away. You don't know the difference between you and a couch, and it's incredible. And so it's just so frustrating because there's actual clips online of her saying the complete opposite of certain things that she's saying now.
In the fact that one of the
Dancing.
huge
Wow.
accusations is pedophilia. Pedophilia is children, like children literally before they go through puberty. Like, what kind of proof or evidence are you gonna, apparently I was sexting and texting a 12-year-old, but there's no proof of it.
Being in a group chat with people underage and it's a dedicated porn chat, that's predatory, right? Like, I don't know. I really don't get it. Anna said, also, this is really trippy because we have the same name. I noticed that. I was like, wait, Anna, what?
Because you guys are saving it. Do you know how fucking stupid that sounds? You guys have exposed me for everything you have. You think that anybody, or actually, maybe people do believe you, but this is me telling you that you're fucking full of shit. You do not have any proof of me sexting or texting a 12-year-old because I never texted or sexted a 12-year-old in my entire fucking life. I also...
Okay, so we're gonna get hung up on the age of 12 instead of the larger accusations of sending photos of you in lingerie to a group chat with underage fans, having the dedicated porn chat, the names of your group chats. Like, we're gonna ignore all of those larger things and get focused on a 12-year-old. I never sexted a 12-year-old. Get real. Get real, Anna.
Never send pictures in a porn group chat. I would love for somebody to pull that proof up too. Are you saving that for your court case that you haven't started yet? Oh, something else that I really wanted to talk about. Sorry. This is, I feel like my last time I'm going to talk about it. This is something I wanted to comment on. Sorry, my camera. Again. So, anyway. In my last video, I brought a lot of attention to the rumor, the story, whatever that was made up, that I flew a 17-year-old girl out from Ireland. When I was 25, she stayed with me in Boston, decided that she wanted to move here. Apparently she has a lot of selfies with me, but she doesn't want to come forward and say who she is. It's because it never happened. But anyway, I brought this up in one of my last videos, and a lot of people were saying that the reason why I brought that up was because I was trying to deflect from the actual accusations. People were saying that nobody's even talking about that. Why are you bringing attention to it? You're just trying to deflect. The reason why I brought so much attention to that was because one of the last conversations, if not the last conversation I think I ever had with Kaylee on the phone, I remember she was saying, who was the 17-year-old girl? Who was the 17-year-old girl from Ireland? And I'm on the phone with my girlfriend, and I'm like, or I think she was my ex-girlfriend at this point, sorry, but still. Do you know how frustrating that is? Okay, like, please try to put yourself in my shoes. These stories are made up completely, pulled out of people's assholes. And I have to be on the phone with my girl, or my ex-girl, whatever, and I'm screaming, there's no 17-year-old girl. I never fucking flew out anybody. So that is why, it wasn't because I was deflecting, it was because that did play a huge part of what happened with me and Kaylee, because even she was questioning if that story was real. That was why I brought that up in the video. It was just...
I think, fine, address it, whatever. You think that played a large role in you and Kaylee breaking up or having issues. But you have to think about the kind of relationship that you have where that would be believable to her. Why would that be a believable thing that she would question you about? So let's say it didn't happen. Let's say that this is a completely made up story, never happened, pulled out of somebody's butthole, as Anna would say. Why would Kaylee believe it? What kind of pattern of behavior is there? I just, like, if somebody made that kind of accusation against, like, my husband, that he flew somebody out while I was, like, out of town doing something, I'm like, that's a weird thing to say. That didn't happen for sure. So it's about the level of trust you have with somebody, and if there's no trust there, I can see why she would believe it if it was completely false. Audrey said, made it. Hi, Audrey. I'm glad you made it. Nessa said, there's literal proof of her sending sexual messages to underage girls. Like, there literally is. So, it's just so confusing to me. It's kind of like Gabby Hanna, where she says something that's so blatantly false, and you're just trying to process how somebody thinks that they can either get away with that, or is just so, I don't know, so distant from reality that they feel comfortable saying something that's such a lie. I don't know. It does not make sense. Elizabeth said, she's very emotionally immature. It's telling to me hearing her speak. Her going after these young girls is a power move, but also they're on the same level maturity-wise, in my opinion. I mean, that makes sense. I think that's a, like, I don't want to say a valid theory, but, like, I understand that vein of thinking, and I tend to agree that, yeah, she likes having the power, she likes, you know, making the money and being in control of some things, but I also think it's because if she were to date somebody who, she's 28, like, an emotionally mature 28-year-old, they would see right through her. They would not put up with half the crap that all these other girls put up with.
some things I needed to clear up and get off my chest because it's just not fair. Let's just jump into it and read an example of one of the letters. We're gonna read Kaylee's just because hers is a little bit different and there's a point that I want to prove with hers. So I sent out 3 cease and desist letters, and then the next day I sent out a 4th one. I'm gonna read Kaylee's, like I said, because hers is a little bit different.
Who'd the 4th one go to? I'm curious.
And again, this is just to get you to understand what laws have really been broken. This is what the letter says. Dear Miss, I will not say her last name because nobody really knows it. This firm represents Anna Campbell, Anna or Miss Campbell in parentheses. Please forward any and all future communications relative to this matter directly to our attention. You are not to contact Miss Campbell either verbally or in writing. This letter is to address your ongoing false claims against Miss Campbell through multiple media platforms, including Twitter and YouTube. You have undertaken an extensive online campaign to attack Miss Campbell by asserting false and defamatory claims against her, including representing that she is a rapist, a pedophile, and an emotional and physical abuser, amongst other falsehoods.
I just don't understand how that can be said, like, in writing, when there's video of Anna saying, I can't believe I let myself put my hands on you. When Kaylee has videos of Anna smashing up the rest of the house while she's sitting there crying, right? I don't want to, like, keep going back and, like, hammering in on the more sensitive topics and, like, bringing up Kaylee's trauma in that way, but I just don't understand how this makes sense. How does it make sense that this is, it's a false claim when there's video proof? And is it what, because she never, like, punched her in the face, or she never strangled her? Like, she thinks abuse is limited to a certain specific set of things as opposed to a very broad and complex topic? Make it make sense. Madeline said, did she forget we all saw the abusive clips? Right? I don't know. And the thing is, like, they haven't gone to court or anything. There's been no legal case about Anna raping Taylor. And so, I don't know, like, it's not necessarily a false claim. It's just something that hasn't been proven or disproven in a court of law. I don't know. Somebody on Twitter was saying that, like, Anna has a family friend or a relative that's an attorney who wrote this for her, and maybe that's the case, but some of it just doesn't make sense to me. Nessa said, imagine getting the courage to speak out against your abuser and then having this happen to you. This is why victims don't always speak out. So heartbreaking. For sure, absolutely. They're talking about very serious topics, and Anna just wants to drag everybody through the mud instead of actually realizing the damage that she causes and trying to work to improve and get better and be healthier. Because I can't imagine that this is fun. Like, this is a fun life for you, having these tumultuous, toxic relationships, bouncing around from girlfriend to girlfriend, going back, like, being messy. I just can't imagine that it's fun. Maybe I'm wrong, though.
Your online posts and videos about her in these regards are in violation of multiple laws and constitute defamation against Miss Campbell. That's the first one. You additionally recorded Miss Campbell without her consent and disseminated the recordings online, specifically Twitter, in violation of the law. That's the reason why I wanted to read Kaylee's, because a lot of YouTubers talked about that, and they all thought that they were lawyers and thought that that was okay for her to do. It wasn't. You're voluminous. Oh my god, that's a hard word.
So, with that, I believe that they're referring to clips that Kaylee, like, videos that Kaylee took of Anna and then put on the internet, apparently without her consent. I'm curious as to where those clips happened, though, because California is a two-party consent state, so if those were happening, maybe that's a tricky thing. Like, maybe Kaylee could face some kind of repercussion, but if they were in Ohio, it's a single-party consent state, so the only person who has to agree to being recorded, like, only one person has to agree to recording a situation. So if I was in a fight with somebody and I was in Ohio and I decided to record the fight, that would be legal to put on the internet. And so I'm not quite sure. I'm not a lawyer. I am not a legal expert in anything, but that was just kind of an interesting thing of how she's going to go for the clips that prove the allegations being made against her.
to say. And ongoing posts have caused extensive harm to Ms. Campbell, including harm to her reputation in business. Your careless disregard and false misrepresentations about her have harmed her online business, which
false, huh?
Oh my god, my camera really stopped while I'm reading it. Furthermore, while the details of which have
You couldn't reread it?
been withheld from this correspondence, your online actions against her constitute either negligent or intentional infliction of emotional distress upon her, as she has developed adverse physical and emotional manifestations in response to your relentless, false, and malicious claims. I mean, medical proof for that. That had like fucking 3 charges in it alone. Let me keep going. Furthermore, you have acted in concert and cooperation with others online, including Taylor Lynn Pendergraft and Ashley, I'll beep out her name too, in an effort to defame and harm Ms. Campbell, all to your benefit. Under information and belief, your online traffic has increased, which it has, as a result of your malicious posts about Ms. Campbell, likely to your financial benefit, which constitutes unjust enrichment at the expense of Ms. Campbell, which is another charge. As counsel for Ms. Campbell...
That's something they would have to go to court to prove. They would absolutely not know how much money, right? Like Kaylee's making from the situation. That sounds a little bit like a stretch. Nessa said the camera was tired of listening to this BS too. Madeline said, imagine being the victim and told you're causing emotional distress. Right. I'm like, what do you think you did to her? That's like, what do you think she's speaking about? The pain that you inflicted on her. Dana said the cease and desist sounds so fake. I mean, I don't know. It just sounds sketchy to me, but also, I'm not a legal professional. Maybe that's exactly how it sounds. Elizabeth said if she has a lawyer, why isn't her lawyer telling her all of these videos could harm any case she may or may not have? I don't know any lawyer that would advise her not to stop talking. She said that her lawyer told her she could share this because she hasn't been given a cease and desist. But it's kind of like that thing, where anytime you have a legal case, like, you shouldn't be talking about it. I remember when I got an attorney for my car accident, I was looking up just different things, and if I were to take the settlement for bodily injury that they first offered me, I could have spoken about it right away. But I was like reading all these like law blogs, and they said if you're gonna go to court, if you're gonna get an attorney, like, don't post about it on the internet, don't talk about it, like, keep the details to a minimum, because if it ends up being a big deal, the other side will come and try and find anything to disprove, like, how bad you're saying your injury was. And so, everything said, just keep your mouth shut, don't say anything until it's completely done.
We hereby demand that you cease and desist any and all discussion, reference, or representation to Ms. Campbell. The next sentence literally says, any references you make to her counsel or this letter will also be a violation of this demand to cease and desist. And Ashley was the one that first said that they all...
This is not a legally binding document, so they can talk about it if they want.
About the letter, so she was the first one to make the violation, not that it matters, because they all violated it anyway. And then it ends with, you are requested to confirm in writing that you will comply with these demands within 10 calendar days of the date of this letter. Nothing herein should be construed or interpreted as a waiver by Ms. Campbell or any rights or causes of actions against you. Please direct all future communications in regard to this matter to the undersigned. Very truly yours, my lawyer. This camera fucking did it again, but it's okay because we're almost done here.
Oh my
So yeah,
gosh.
as you can tell, there were a lot of laws broken. We're looking at defamation, we're looking at emotional distress, wiretapping, invasion of privacy, unjust enrichment, tortious interference with business relations. Oh, and since the letters have been sent out, they're still looking at laws that they have broken, and they found another one, and don't quote me on it because I don't remember exactly what it's called, but it's some type of like civil conspiracy law where you can't like turn people against you. And because Andy wouldn't go against me, Taylor, Kaylee, and Ashley created a hate campaign against them as well. There's even a tweet of them saying Anna's entire flock is going down. Like, your defense for this can't be, oh, well, she said one time that she was gonna break my nose. You said that I raped you. You said that I'm a pedophile, and I'm not, and I didn't rape you. So yeah, I said I was gonna break your nose. Like, what do you think you're sending me to prison for? Kaylee thinks she's sending me to prison like this.
I love how she thinks that false, quote unquote, false claims against her are a reason to break somebody's nose. Ugh. Anna said, what is her proof for all these charges that haven't even been pressed? I got no idea. Dana said, I'm not silencing anyone, but the cease and desist says you have to stop talking about me in this situation. Right? It's just so wild to me that she, I don't know. I know I've said this before, but the fact that she can just be so bold, knowing that there's proof of these things. And she can just come on here and be so smug about it and so, like, heartless. And I get it. I can understand how you wouldn't want to be kind or empathetic to somebody accusing you of abuse or assault or of being a toxic person. But you have to, I think a healthy person would hear that they did something wrong that really hurt somebody and be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I can't believe I did that to you. How can I make it up? How can I make it better? That's what a healthy person would do, which is not what's happening here.
Because I threw her on the ground after she grabbed me from the back while I was punching myself in the face, after I told her, and it's on film, to leave me alone. She thinks I'm going to prison for that? Why am I not in prison? Why am I literally like sitting on my couch smoking my bong, chilling, watching the Social Network every fucking day? That's what my life has been consisting of, and crying because I'm so fucking depressed at the fact that this is what is happening in my life. Like, I know I made mistakes, but this has turned into something way more than holding somebody accountable for their mistakes. My entire business, I ran this channel since 2007. I know that my relationships helped me grow, and I know that being in trash helped me grow, but this is my baby. This was my career. This was my dream, and it's being burned to the ground over my 3 exes running a hate campaign against me, and I can't wait to prove myself in court that I am not a rapist and that I'm not a pedophile. And the saddest part is I feel like an asshole. Like, I genuinely...
Elizabeth said, she's used to gaslighting these young girls. She thinks she can work the same tactics on others. Right. It's not gonna work. I mean, it's just wild to me that she first contacted Taylor when Taylor was 18, but still in high school. And Kaylee was 18 or 19 when they first started dating too, and Kaylee was in kind of a rough situation. She doesn't have a good relationship with her mom from what I've heard, and so it's like Anna swoops in and pulls these tactics, uses this BS against them to get them in a relationship, and thinks that that same manipulation is going to convince the world. But literally, I've seen people on Twitter defending Anna, but any videos being made about this, nobody's on Anna's side. And I don't want to turn it into like a their side, her side thing, but everybody thinks Anna's in the wrong. Who's made a video about it? That I've seen anyway. Obviously, I don't know everything that's on the internet, but everything I've seen is calling Anna out. Allison said, the way Anna acts like punching herself in the face is a normal, relatable behavior, speaks toward her serious issues. Right, she's sitting there talking about punching herself in the face and how she did slam Kaylee down after that. That entire thing is upsetting. That entire thing is disturbing. Hitting yourself in front of your partner is scary. That is scary behavior. Kira said if she didn't want her career to be burnt down, she shouldn't have been abusive. Right, you can't be mad when you are, like, reaping the consequences of your own actions.
I really feel bad that all this is happening. I didn't want this to happen.
I'm sure you didn't.
Even Taylor said right here, if I wasn't guilty, I should have taken it.
Taylor said, if they were false rape allegations, Anna should have took me to court for defamation immediately, but she didn't. I wonder why, and it's not because of it being quote-unquote expensive. Money wouldn't matter when your entire reputation on the line. When your entire reputation is on the line.
Action a long time ago or something like that. Like, she's right. I should have taken action so long ago. I let this go on for way too long, allowing people to think these things about me. I don't know. I'm gonna end the video here probably. It's just like, I don't understand how people aren't seeing. All of these girls were with me over the age of 18, and they were completely consenting to everything that we were doing. Not to mention, Kaylee's over here saying that she was freshly 18 and trying to make me seem like I groomed her. And Taylor too. Well, Kaylee is literally on film admitting that she used to fuck a 31-year-old. And
do you think that's normal? Do you think that's a healthy thing? Do you think that proves that, oh, well, she used to have sex with a 34-year-old, so she couldn't possibly be vulnerable in any way, shape, or form. She's basically older than me. Like, what point do you think you're proving with that? That is a terrible thing to say and to use against somebody, because you can guarantee that that was not a healthy relationship, if it was a relationship or whatever it was. 18 and 34? I really don't understand how Anna thinks that that strengthens her argument in any way, shape, or form. Plus, sure, when you were dating these girls, they were over the age of 18. Fine, fair enough. But that doesn't explain the chats with your underage fans. That doesn't make those okay. That doesn't mean that you weren't in the wrong for having a dedicated porn chat or a group chat called Campbell's Cum. Like, ugh.
I'm gross and a pedophile because I was 25. It doesn't make sense. I don't know. None of it makes sense to me, but I'm going to end this video here. I'm sure, considering that most of you guys already came onto this video expecting to have a negative outlook on it or opinion.
Runner Boy said, is 18 legal where they are? Yes. They're all in the United States. 18 is the general age of consent. In some states, it can be less than 18, depending on, like, just the age of consent can be lower, or it can be, like, if the person's within 1 to 2 years of your age, it kind of varies, but in general, 18 is safe and appropriate, in my opinion. Nessa said, this whole video is just a bunch of whataboutisms, and that's not the basis of a strong legal defense. Isla Misfit said she knows she can't lie her way out of the group chat, so she doesn't address it. I think those chats / DMs are what is ultimately going to be her downfall. Yeah, that's probably it. She's probably just trying to avoid that topic altogether because it's concrete. It's screenshots.
Because I'm so hated right now because of my attitude and how, like, unremorseful.
I'm hated because of my attitude. No, people are mad because of what you did. And yeah, your attitude's part of it. The fact that you aren't remorseful, the fact that you don't think you did anything wrong, sure, that's part of it.
I probably seem, but that's because I am not remorseful anymore. These people are trying to ruin my life forever to the point where I have no future at all for claims of me being this toxic and abusive person. We have gone through the same shit together. I just didn't film them and I just didn't expose them. I could go through one by one and say everything that they've done, but I'm not going to do that, and I have no video proof of it either because I wasn't thinking that I'm going to expose one of my girlfriends one day. Like, I can't. Anyway, what I was trying to say was, if this video made you think that I am unremorseful, it's because I'm so angry, as anybody would be, after being called a pedophile and a rapist so many times. I'm finally taking legal action. I hope that I have at least some of your guys' support. If I don't,
No.
I don't. But either way, I wanted to update you guys on the truth of what's happening with the whole court situation and the cease and desist letters. So, yeah, I love you guys.
Nessa said, quote, I'm not going to do that, as if she didn't just do that this entire video. Right. And in my head, I'm trying to think back of all the past videos I've seen. I think she has, like, a Dear Taylor Lynn video. She talks about some situations with Natalia. She's spoken about various things that Kaylee did that upset her. She's done that before in multiple videos. So right now, she's not doing it. Even though she did several times and showed videos of Kaylee in unflattering situations. Right. Kira said, does she not understand that she is the common denominator? I don't think so. And that's part of the wild thing to me is, do you ever think about why you didn't feel the need to, if things that Natalia, Taylor, and Kayla did were so scary, so upsetting, so toxic, so vile, etc., why did you not feel the need to protect yourself from that or to document it? Like, you ever think about that? How the reason other people have documentations of things or have recorded, like, videos or kept it written down somewhere, you ever think that they did that because they were the ones who were scared? And you didn't because you weren't?
Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon with another new video, and it's gonna have nothing to do with this. I really hope that some of you guys want me to come back, but I don't know, that's gonna suck if I come back and nobody wants me back. That's what I mean, like everything I worked for years, for literally 14 years, since 2007, it's like, it's gone. Because people think I'm a rapist and a pedophile, and you expect me to be remorseful. But thank you for watching, and thank you for at least listening, and hopefully you don't hate me as much as I think everybody hates me, because I think everybody hates me right now. I'm pretty sure everybody hates me right now. Anyway, I'm rambling. Leave a heart in the comments below if you don't hate me. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I love you guys, and I will see you soon. Peace.
Alright, so that was that. Yeah. That entire video is just bad, not good. I do think there are a lot of people who have hate for her actions. I will say, I don't hate Anna. I want her to understand what she did, and I want her to get better. Like, I want her to take accountability, because until you take accountability truly and sincerely for everything you're trying to deflect, nothing's gonna change. I want people to be able to improve, to get better, and not repeat those same patterns and hurt somebody else. So I think there are a certain amount of people who are really, really angry, and some people who are like, this all really sucks. Like, get it together so you can move on. Get it together so you can make it right. You can heal the wounds that you've caused to other people, and you cannot hurt others going forward. Anna said she only has herself to blame for the loss of her career. Agreed. People wouldn't be able to, I don't know, like, your career wouldn't have suffered as much if people didn't have proof of these things, or if they weren't believable things. Yeah, rumors can get out and get spread, and that can damage your career or your views, whatever, but to the extent that this has happened, it is because of the things Anna has done. So if you hadn't done those things, you wouldn't be in this situation. Kristen said, so much of her attitude strikes me as the kind of person who has such a narrow view of abuse that she can't imagine the things she did as abusive. That's putting it together perfectly. She's like, yeah, I slammed Kaylee on the ground, but I'm not abusive because I was hitting myself in the head and she grabbed me, and you shouldn't have grabbed me in that state. Like, logically, it does not make sense to me. Nessa said, if all these people were coming out saying this about me, I think I might start to reflect on what I've done that would require this type of reaction. Maybe that's just me. I think that's a healthy person's perspective. I mean, I can't imagine ever having these kind of allegations leveled against me because I've not done these things. But if somebody came at me with, again, like saying I hurt them, or I was mean to them, or I did something wrong or did something bad, maybe I would be defensive at first, but then if it kept happening, or they kept insisting that this thing had happened, I'd be like, hold on, I need to take a second and think about this. I need to actually reflect and understand what I did that caused you to feel like this, so I don't make somebody else feel that way ever again. But again, like you said, maybe that's just me, maybe that's just us. But that was the end of her video. Seeing that she sent out a cease and desist did not really change my opinion on her or anything. Like, hearing the things she said didn't change my opinion on anything. I still think Anna is in the wrong, and I hope that we do get to see them, like, that we get to see Kaylee and Taylor and Natalia get justice, and we see a change from Anna, because this is more than internet drama. This is real lives being damaged, and I don't want that for anybody else. Dana said, it breaks my heart that her girlfriend tried to stop Anna from self-harming in form of punching herself, only to be blamed for getting abused later because she shouldn't have grabbed me. Yeah. It's all heartbreaking, and she's surprised that Kaylee is, like, mad and lashing out and going off on video about her. You're surprised that she's doing that? That seems very in line to a response I would expect. That was pretty much all I had for this. I did want to just address something from the first video I did about Anna, because in that we reacted to a video from Maddie Eve where they talk about their experience with Anna being like an underaged fan, and the toxic relationship between Maddie and Anna. And then later on, we watched Natalia's video where they talk about texts from Maddie/Flynn, where Anna and Maddie/Flynn are talking about, like, not destroying, but like damaging Taylor's physical property, and like laughing about it and conspiring, all this stuff. And it was confusing for me because we watched that video from Maddie, and then it said this was from Maddie/Flynn, and I don't like the fact that like I have to address this, but I kind of do. I want to be sensitive in the way that I say this next part, but it's just important because Maddie contacted me after that and said, hey, I want everybody to know that that was not me. That is an ex-friend of Taylor's who used to go by Maddie, now goes by Flynn. And so it's two completely separate people. I put a pinned comment under my first video talking about it, but I did see on Twitter that Maddie was saying it was super tiring having to contact all of these content creators to correct that misconception. I'm assuming that's the one that was being referred to. So I know I put that pinned comment, but I do just want to address it here verbally. Maddie from the video we watched is not the same Maddie that was in those text messages talking about destroying Taylor's property. So I wanted to put it out there, make sure it was known plainly that those are different people. But if anybody has any final thoughts that they would like to share, or anything y'all want to chat about, feel free to leave it in the chat. I'm pretty much done with what I had to say, and it's so wild. Whenever I'm on live with y'all, it's like time just goes like 41 minutes. Dana said, so typical to make them seem crazy, because you said, oh, and the whole framing the girlfriends as angry in their responses. Right. You want to make them seem irrational, like they're going off, they have no reason to, they can't be trusted. It's just wild to me. Alright. So it seems like nothing else is coming in for any other topics. Anna said there's also two Taylors, so it can also get confusing. Yeah, well, because there's Taylor Lynn, and then Natalia Taylor, and then Anna calling Natalia Ashley, and it's like word salad. Elizabeth said, thanks for the video. Thank you for coming. Thank you for hanging out. Tomorrow I will put out a community tab post for any suggestions for next Friday's live stream, if I'm able to do one. I kind of just have to play it by ear whether or not I'm going to be able to, but if I do, it'll most likely be at around 3:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Fridays. That's when I'm trying to do live, so again, feel free to leave any topic suggestions on that tomorrow, and that's pretty much it. Oh, if you could like this video or share it somewhere, that would mean a lot. If you could subscribe, if you enjoyed hanging out with us, that would be awesome. For the first time in over a year, one of my videos got restricted, and it was yesterday's video, and I understand why it got restricted, but that means that YouTube's not going to put a lot of ads on it, so they can't make a lot of money off of it, so they're not going to send it out to as many people. And normally, yeah, that's kind of frustrating, but it's fine. But with a topic like this, I feel like we need to get more people talking about it. So if I could ask that you like the video, share it if you feel like sharing, I would really appreciate it. That would mean a lot. And same with this one. It's probably going to get restricted as well. And again, I want more people talking about it and bringing attention to this entire situation so it can get resolved. But that is all that I have got. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for watching. Please be kind to people, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.